Peter Jackson made Frodo a coward. Now, I'm not going to address every change that he made, or I would be here all day. Just two scenes that I think really highlight this change. The films portray Frodo as a young, timid hobbit struggling under the weight of responsibility and, of course, the ring. But in the books, he's an older and wiser hobbit, being about 50 years old at the time of the quest. He's also much more courageous. For example, on Weathertop, when he puts on the ring, instead of falling down and basically letting himself get stabbed, Frodo draws Sting and cries, "Elbereth Githoniel!" Elbereth being the Elvish name for Varda, the Valar who created the stars. Basically, an Elvish prayer of, protection. He sees the Nazgul as they truly are, and he brandishes Sting at them, and the blade appears to him like a burning brand. And the ring wraiths actually recoil from this. Then the Witch King steps forward with his long sword and a short knife, and Frodo starts swinging wildly at his legs till he feels an icy stab in his shoulder, and he passes out from the pain as Strider jumps in with a torch in each hand. And then later, when the group is found not by Arwen, but Glorfindel, who I'll talk about in another video, Frodo refuses to ride ahead on Asphaloth because he doesn't want to abandon his friends. However, he eventually does have to when the Nazgul catch up to him, because Glorfindel points out that they are only in danger as long as they are with Frodo. So when the Nazgul catch up to Frodo at the fords of Bruinen, we get this badass passage. Suddenly, the foremost rider spurred his horse forward. It checked at the water and reared up. With a great effort, Frodo sat upright and brandished his sword. "Go back!" he cried. "Go back to the land of Mordor and follow me no more!" His voice sounded thin and shrill in his own ears. The riders halted, but Frodo had not the power of Bombadil. His enemies laughed at him with harsh and chilling laughter. "Come back! Come back!" they called. "To Mordor we will take you." "Go back!" he whispered. "The ring! The ring!" they cried with deadly voices, and immediately their leader urged his horse forward into the water, followed closely by two others. "By Elbereth and Luthien the Fair," said Frodo, with a last effort, lifting up his sword, "you shall have neither the ring nor me!" Then the leader, who was now halfway across the ford, stood up menacing in his stirrups and raised up his hand. Frodo was stricken dumb. He felt his tongue cleave to his mouth and his heart laboring. His sword broke and fell out of his shaking hand. The elf horse reared and snorted. The foremost of the black horses had almost set foot upon the shore. At that moment, there came a roaring and a rushing, a noise of loud waters rolling many stones. Dimly, Frodo saw the river below him rise, and down along its course there came a plumed cavalry of waves. White flames seemed to Frodo to flicker on their crests, and he half fancied that he saw, amid the waters, white riders upon white horses with frothing manes. The three riders that were still in the midst of the ford were overwhelmed. They disappeared, buried suddenly under angry foam. And those are just some examples of the changes that Peter Jackson made. If you have any thoughts, or want to hear more examples, let me know in the comments below.